on. So the items that you'll need to complete this project include a letter. You can purchase this from any craft supply store. You'll need a blank canvas. I purchased this from Walmart. I also purchased the letter from Walmart. And you'll need like a plank palette. I purchased this from one of those sipping wine places that was going out of business. So I don't know where you could actually purchase these from. I'm sure like craft supply stores may have them, but I think they actually made theirs. It looks like 5 planks and then 5 planks and then 3 thinner planks, and then they use a staple gun to staple it together. So you could make your own, or you could look in a craft supply store and see if they actually sell this piece. You'll need sandpaper. I'll be using some epoxy. I'll also be using some spray paint and some alcohol inks and sand. So I'll be using some sand with some seashells and stuff like that. You can decorate it however you want to decorate it. That is just what I'm going to be using. I also use some stain on here as well. And I think that's all I'm pretty much going to be using for this project. Again, if I forgot anything, also you'll need gloves. If I forgot anything, I will definitely put it down in the description box below. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started. All right, so the first things I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this wood plank. What I'm going to do is use the inside of it, but I still want the outside and the inside to be white. So I'm going to spray paint this white, and then I'm going to paint the top of this a dark blue, the middle a light blue, and then the bottom I'm not going to worry too much about because it's going to be covered with the sand. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of those off camera. And I'll probably paint this on camera just so you can see it, but no one needs to see me spray paint. Make sure you sand everything down so you'll get a clean, smooth surface and something for the paint and everything to adhere to. So I'm going to go ahead and spray paint this, and I'll be back. All right, I also remember you'll need these little wooden clothespins. I purchased these from Walmart, and they were in the stationery section. You'll also need some type of adhesive to adhere your wooden clothespins and your base panel to the bottom of the Okay, so since I'll be using a beach theme and this is brown, I want to paint certain sections off on the M. So the top will be the darker part of the water, and then the teal type blue will be in the middle, and then the bottom will be the sand. So I will not paint that part, but I wanted to just get like a base for the other colors because I'll be using alcohol ink, and you'll be able to see through to the end and it'll be brown. So I don't really want it to really be brown. I mean, you could have it to be brown. You can paint it white if you wanted to. It's kind of totally up to you on what you're kind of going for. Right now, I'm just kind of going for those colors. I want the alcohol ink to pop against those colors, and I really don't want the brown or any white or anything to be the background. So I'm going to go ahead and paint those sections off, and then I'll be back. All right, so the next step is just putting the sand on. So what I'll be using to adhere my sand to the letter is UV resin. You know I love me some UV resin because it cures really fast with the UV lamp or just the natural sun. So right here, I'm just putting the UV resin on the bottom portion where I did not paint at. And then I'll be getting the sand that I purchased from the Dollar Tree and I'll be sprinkling that on there. After I do that, I'll get my UV lamp and seal that first layer of sand on there. And then I will put another coat of UV resin on top of that sand. And then I believe I sprinkled some more sand on top of the first layer of sand because I wanted it to have like a 3D type of dimension. And then I put it underneath the UV lamp again. And I believe I put another thing of UV resin on there to put the seashells on there. So you can put as much sand or as little sand as you want if you're doing this type of project or theme, I should say. It's totally up to you on how you want the letter to look. But I believe I put 3 layers of sand on there, and I also made sure to go all around the M. So on all sides, I put sand on there. So later on, because I'm going to speed this portion up, but later on you'll see where I turned the M's on the side and got in between the M to put the sand on there. So that's just the next step on layering the sand. All right, so then after you are finished with the layer for the sand, next you'll take your alcohol inks and then you'll mix it with the UV resin. So I am going to mix I believe I did the 2 blues right there that's paired up in one container with the UV resin. And then I did a lighter color of blue for the middle part, and then I just put it on there the same way you do the sand. You'll just use a popsicle stick or a silicone brush, and then you'll just paint the UV resin on there. Use your UV light or the natural sun to cure the UV resin, and then you'll go on to the next step, which I'll show you. Also remember to do the sides so that they are covered with the UV resin so it looks uniform all over. I also put a little bit of white in the middle of the M just to make it look like a wave. And I used a straw to kind of move the white a little bit to mix it into the blue, the middle blue. You want to do that before you use the UV lamp, because once you use the UV lamp, it is cured and the white won't move as freely. So if you're going to add any type of white for the wave, just do that while the lower level layer is still wet, and then put the white on there, blow it a little bit with a straw, and then try to mix it that way. and then cure it with the UV lamp. All right, so I'm just going to just speed this up so you can see how I put the layers on, and then I'll be back. Okay, so after everything has dried and you painted everything and you created whatever you want to do to your M or your letter, I should say, now it's time to put it all together. So I'm just going to take a little wood glue, and just put it on the back of your letter. And you don't have to put too much. I kind of put too much right there, so I'm just going to spread it out. All right, you just want enough where it adheres to your plank. And if you wanted to, you can put your plank like this, make it 3D, but I don't. I want mine to be like this. So I'm just going to put my letter in the middle. All right. And I gotta clean up the glue. Gotta let it smear. You just take a cloth if you ended up doing what I did. Just take a cloth and just clean the excess glue up. Alright. Alright, just like so. And you can put something on it just to make sure it adheres to the plank well, but this is kind of flat on there, so I'm not going to put anything to, you know, push it any further down. All right, so I'm going to let that dry, but in the meantime, I did have these seashells, so I did think I was going to put the seashells kind of like this. Around the letter. That won't fit. Like so. So I think I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna actually adhere these letters with a little UV resin, or you can use hot glue gun, a hot glue stick or gun, I should say, on there, just on the edges to kind of adhere. If you're putting any other embellishments on there, you can do that as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on here and then I will be back. All right, so this is still drying, but I just went ahead and put wood glue on the bottom of the plank, and all right, so the M is still drying. These are already adhered to the frame. What I did though is I added some wood glue to the bottom of the frame. I just did like a zigzag and just put this top on top, the frame on top of the board. So I am going to actually sit something heavy on top of here so it can put a little bit of pressure on there while it dries. So I'm just going to put some pressure on top of the white board so it can really adhere to the board. And the wood glue says it dries in about 30 minutes. I'm going to give it about an hour, and I'll be back. All right, so this is all dry and nicely adhered. So next you're just going to take your clothespins, and you can get these from Dollar Tree or Walmart, and you're just going to place them where you're going to put your pictures at. So I think I'll place about 6 of them, and I might put some at the bottom when you glue them down. So if you need to, try to open it up before you glue it down, because you don't want to glue it down and then the things don't open or close. So, and you can use the lines on your plank to make them even. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these down, and then that's pretty much the final step, except for the actual pictures. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's all together and how you can place your pictures and everything on it. So I'll be right back. All right, everybody, so this is the end of the project. So I just put 2 pictures there just to show you how it looks with the pictures hanging there. And you can put wallets. These are 4x6s. Yeah, 4x6. So you could put those types or wallets. But if you raise your clothespin up or something and make more space, you could probably put bigger pictures. But it just depends on what you want it and how you want it to look. So this was really easy and not that expensive, and it's really cute, and you can design it and make it your own versus just going to the store and purchasing one. Now on the back, it does not have any clips or anything to hang it up on a wall, but you can use command strips, or you can use the the painting wire, the hanging wire, and just staple one piece here and then staple another piece there and then hang it that way. So it's totally up to you or how you want to hang it up on your wall, or you could just have it linked up against something like a tabletop or something like that, like a like a hallway table. You can have it linked up against that. So it's totally up to you how you want to display it. But yeah, that is the end of the project. I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button along with the share button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you are not a part of my Facebook group, it is Crafting Made Easy. Go ahead and click in there and then share your projects, share any ideas you may have. And if you have any questions, I'm more likely to answer the questions in the Facebook group versus on YouTube, because sometimes YouTube does not display all of the comments. All right, y'all, I think that is all. Y'all stay blessed, and until next time, peace.